Warning! The following satirical episode is for Grindhouse film viewers and entertainment purposes only. It's not for the faint of heart. I have ways of making you talk. Where are they planning to build the next AI data center? Oh, you came earlier than I thought, my dark souls. Let's get one thing out of the way first. This episode is about female villains, specifically Diane Thorne, and her fictional character Ilsa. Emphasis on the word fictional. So for any idiots out there who click on this video expecting to find an endorsement of garbage behavior, here's a scene that represents how I feel about any type of bigotry. As most of you probably know, I'm a big fan of female villains. Some of my favorite are Varla from Faster Pussycat Kill Kill.
Come on, babe, let's get out of here.
Julie Walker from Return of the Living Dead 3. Angela Franklin from Night of the Demons. And Katrina from BAM. But the queen of all female villains is Ilsa, the evilest domina in Grindhouse history. Ilsa was played with great campy flair by the actress, showgirl, and singer Diane Thorne. Diane's first acting roles were on classic 60s TV shows, with her most notable cameo being on the original Star Trek series. In one of my favorite episodes of the second season, called A Piece of the Action, Diane shows up briefly as one of the moles complaining about the city's lighting system.
Hey, when's the boss gonna do something about the crummy streetlights around here, huh? Girl ain't safe. Yeah, and how about the laundry pickup? We ain't had a truck by in 3 weeks.
Right on my letter.
I did. You sent it back with postage due. Listen, we pay off percentages. We're entitled to a little service for our money, huh?
Get lost, will ya?
Show those bros some respect, you flim flammer! Diane's career as a professional villainess quickly rose after that cameo. In 1971's Point of Terror, she played a cougar record producer who did everything she could to get her hands on a younger man, even killing her abusive paraplegic husband.
If you can stand the shock of the dark side of fear, you must see Point of Terror.
In 1972's Blood Sabbath, she played another cougar, Alota, queen of the witches / kid sacrificer. Again, her character did everything she could to get her hands on a younger man, even not sacrificing a kid.
Alota, you want a soul. I've got one for you.
You? And whose will you bring me?
Mine.
Yours?
Those evil cougar roles were good training, but didn't do much to pay Diane's bills. So she briefly worked as a chauffeur. Ironically, that's what really got her her most famous role. Because when the producers of 1975's Ilsa, She-Wolf of the SS, saw Diane wearing her chauffeur uniform, they knew they had found the perfect intimidating actress. I don't really like this film. It's only worth watching because of Diane's performance as Ilsa. It's part of the Nazi exploitation genre, which I don't care about.
Doctor, you have failed to fatherland.
The crops are here by order of the Führer himself.
No, this is my project.
We are now in total control of pure wood.
All those Nazi exploitation films are very boring and repetitive. The only great movie that came out of that genre was Tarantino's Inglourious Basterds in 2009.
Each and every man under my command owes me 100 Nazi scalps. And I want my scalps. And all y'all will get me 100 Nazi scalps, taken from the heads of 100 dead Nazis.
He's not the only one who collects those kinds of scalps. If you're wondering how and why this Nazi exploitation genre started, you first have to go back to the late 1960s. This was the time of the counterculture, where people began to realize that the government was run by a bunch of villainous human monsters. Most adult audiences were no longer interested in watching goody two-shoes heroes. They wanted to watch reflections of the times they were living. And that's how grindhouses and drive-ins were invaded by all kinds of exploitation cinema. But getting back to the first Ilsa film, when the producers offered Diane the part, her first response was,
I see no manhood between your legs.
Later, under the advice of her husband and following her own mantra of actors just act, she reconsidered and accepted the role. Diane brought a lot to the part, and the film wouldn't really work without her. Ilsa is a fictional character, but technically, there is some truth to her story. She's loosely based on a scumbag named Ilsa Koch, a German war criminal who committed several atrocities in one of the Nazis' concentration camps. That detail made the first Ilsa film extremely controversial, but it made so much money that a sequel was quickly released the next year. And this is where the fun really begins, with Ilsa, Harem Keeper of the Oil Sheiks, which is my favorite film of the series. The immortal entity known as Ilsa is back with a new uniform. She is now in the Middle East, helping a bastard oil sheik keep his harem and scummy kingdom in line. This film really has a great pulp bloodline that includes kick-ass ball-ripping African Amazonian warriors, a James Bond parody character who Ilsa falls in love with, and an exploding dildo. What more can you ask for? From the desert, we go into the snow of my second favorite film of the series, Ilsa, the Tigress of Siberia, from 1977. Ilsa, with yet another uniform, returns, now in communist Russia, and commanding a Siberian gulag, where she tortures male political prisoners and has orgies with her bullish comrades. She even has a tiger as a pet guard. But the plot really becomes interesting after the first act, when Ilsa relocates her distorted brand of S&M to Canada and becomes a madam in a brothel full of MKUltra pleasure workers. This film was secretly produced by Roger Corman, who used a fake name to avoid being associated with Ilsa's powers of controversy. Technically, this is the end of the original Ilsa series, but thanks to the director Jesus Franco and some sleazy distributors, we have a part 4 in name and style only, with Ilsa the Wicked Warden, also from 1977.
You are the most powerful in the world.
The Ilsa entity is now a redhead by the name of Greta and works as a warden in a woman's psychiatric hospital, where she, of course, tries to cure the patients by torturing them and putting hot tamales between their tacos. disregarding the fact that most of the women in the hospital don't like spicy food at all. I didn't like this film that much. It's up there with Ilsa, She-Wolf of the SS, only worth watching because of Diane's performance. After the 70s ended, Diane's film appearances dwindled, with her only notable role that I could find being in the film Real Men from 1987.
Dad. How are you, Dad? God, you look great!
Will you look at the tits on this guy? Huh? Look at him. Dad, I'm real proud of you.
So it can be said that ultimately, Ilsa destroyed Diane's acting career. She retired for a while to Las Vegas, where she became a minister and ran a specialized wedding business. For a while, fans could be married by Ilsa instead of a boring pastor. Diane made a small comeback in 2013, appearing in 2 horror films. Sadly, she passed away in January of 2020, at the age of 83. While she has a small devout cult following, Diane was never truly appreciated for her talents. Producers could have resurrected her career and helped her appear in Tarantino films or other grindhouse homages, just like Pam Grier. But her intimidating portrayal as Ilsa was too much for ignorant people. They just didn't understand what the character represented. Ilsa wasn't just a powerful, dominant woman. She was also the kind of evil female monster that you can usually find in the corners of any authoritarian organization. If you look closely at your political rallies, I guarantee you will find an Ilsa, though probably less charismatic. These AI ninjas are so weak. Give them a little bit of torture and they quickly lose their heads. Speaking of head losing, tonight's Hades short film is about a woman who doesn't know how to deal with being cast as a final girl in a story she doesn't want to be a part of. I call this little tale, Final Girl. Wake up, Dorothy! What's going on? The audience is here, and the show needs to start now. Are you recording some sort of prank? What kind of Airbnb is this? Pedro, is that you? This is Meleville's Airbnb, and you have been cast as the final girl in tonight's show. The final what? The final girl. Don't you watch slasher films? Girl, I only watch TikTok. Don't make the audience hate you. You're supposed to make them care about you if you want to survive. Survive what? Look out the window. Okay, I'll play along for now. Okay. That's not Pedro. Who is that man? That's the Crimson Slasher. Didn't you read me up Obsession 1? I only read Instagram posts with lots of likes. The Crimson Slasher is a serial killer, and he's here to penetrate your skull with his knife. So you better figure out what you're going to do to survive fast, because he's coming up the stairs now. Don't bother looking for your phone. The signal won't work here. I made sure of that. I am not looking for my phone, I'm looking for my gun. I got no time for this shit. I just broke up with my 3 boyfriends. You're not supposed to have a gun. You're breaking the rules of classic slasher cinema. Mira, mami, I'm from the Bronx. I've had this gun since I was 6 years old. So your dumb joke ends now. I can see you, but you better stay where you are or I'm gonna start shooting. I warned you! What a terrible final, girl. And did you have to break Vivi to his fridge? She's going to be such a huge nag when we return to the house. Well, whatever. Clean up and get ready for the next one. Don't you dare look at me that way. Do what I say, or I'll throw you back in the book. That's a good little slasher. Wake up, Anna. It's time for you to play the final, girl.